How would you like to own a piece of Miracle Cash and More? The first to market brick and mortar crypto stores, crypto on the street, with stores in every major city all over the world. Unlike the faceless online competitors that have no phone number to call, no physical address, and no one to talk to, Miracle Cash and More stores are fully regulated, licensed, and our wallets are insured by Fireblocks. At Miracle Cash and More, we own our own cryptocurrency exchange. We own our own stablecoin. We own our own ATMs. We own our own merchant terminals. And guess what? We get paid on every single transaction. The secret, if you want to call it a secret, is to get involved before the whole world knows about it. Position yourself in front of the masses before the masses react.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Max. Would this be called the last call-in?
I don't know, because tonight, we still got tonight.
That's right.
You know, some people go to the last second, the last minute.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, all you guys from all over the world, our NFT members, our community members. Exciting times. I'm Anthony. What you guys are about to see is a great presentation and information that me and many people saw. I saw back in July. A good friend, Ray Vitro, he called me up. He said, give me 5 minutes. After let me turn that off there. After the first 2 minutes, I was done. I was like, hey, Ray, I get it. I get it. It makes perfect sense. And this is really what we've been waiting for. Then I'm all in, right? And then we saw the presentation, and that very first day, I was already trying to get in contact with corporate and trying to buy my NFTs, So it was that quick, So the information you're about to see is might be new to a lot of you. If you don't know anything about NFTs or crypto, I did not either. Just please keep an open mind and just listen to the business aspect of it and the opportunity and what we're doing here. And the person who's going to be presenting that to you is Mr. Terranova, who I have such a pleasure of meeting in Vegas and sat down with him. And the one thing I always like to sit down with people because I like to feel their journey and vibe. That's how I get to know people. And when I got to meet Ed and really talk to him and have lunch with him, break bread with him, it was an amazing time. It was a great time. Got to know him a little more personally and what his vision is and what he really thought of what the company is. And there's nobody better than Ed to actually present this information. Aside from him being an entrepreneur most of his life and being a consultant to many companies and leading teams of salespeople all over the world, and retired New York firefighter. I mean, this man wears many hats and continues to wear them. He's our strategic advisor for Cashflow, and he's a mentor. He's our community trainer. He's on every single Friday, really giving training us. And Ed, without further ado, buddy, I could keep going and going about you, but I'll let you go on with that one. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Anthony. And so far as wearing a hat goes, very rarely will you catch me wearing a hat. For whatever reason, if we're in the sun and it's serving a purpose, and you might catch me with a hat. But when it comes down to wearing a lot of hats and doing a lot of different things, yeah, sometimes I look back at my life and I go, wow, that was a lot. And part of the reason is I'm open. I'm an individual who loves life, and if something excites me or interests me, I tend to go towards it. So we're going to talk about Cashflow NFT. I'm going to open up, go straight to screen share here, and kind of share where we're at. What Anthony was alluding to earlier on regarding today and tonight. And so for those of you who don't know, we're at the tail end of a price that will probably never return again. So if you're interested in getting in before the deadline. Found out this morning there still are a few available at the prices we have talked about that you're going to see here today. So definitely do what you can. I'm helping people all day long get set up and get in. So I don't know how much is going to be left. It could sell out today, but today is the last day regardless. Whether it sells out, and I believe they will. I can't speak on behalf of the company, but we'll see. We'll see. I would suggest that worst case scenario, you got in the game, you got a foot in the door, but we could battle to try and get to that price because we really don't have an exact counter. Matter of fact, several of the corporate staff that's real instrumental in doing this, and that includes a lot of the people you see on the Zooms and stuff. They're in Dubai right now, and they look like they're having a blast there. They're at the Dubai Crypto Expo, the largest ever, and Micah, who is the founder of Cashflow NFT, is going to be speaking at that event. So let's jump right into it. Cashflow NFT are NFTs pay. So you might be like me or like Anthony, when you first look at this, you may have heard of NFTs, but you really don't understand them. And that was me. Back in July of this past year, I spoke to my friend Ray Vidrio, and he shared this with me. And to be honest with you, although I'm involved in cryptocurrency for several years now, starting back in 2016, when it came down to NFTs, I read about them. Matter of fact, I got a whole report on them from my mentor, and I read it. I didn't really totally understand it, so I just put it on the shelf. And then I heard about Melania Trump was coming out with her own NFTs. I'm like, what's that about? So I looked it up, and it was artwork, it was digital artwork. Okay, I get it. And then I heard about these kids that were 12 years old, 14 years old, that made millions on NFTs, and I'm like, I don't get it. And then I spoke to Ray in July of 2022, and I looked at a presentation like this, and then I got it. Very simple. An NFT stands for Non Fungible Token, and what it is it's a digital work of art that has computer code that's on the blockchain. That's it. Primarily, they're collectibles, right? They're the coolest thing, the hottest thing, whole bunch of different types of stuff. And, I was never really into collectibles. I was never into collecting watches or collecting baseball cards or anything like that. So it really just didn't strike anything with me. Although I should say I did at one time get involved with a company that had limited edition artwork. So I do have an art collection, which is pretty cool. I felt it gave me culture. It made me feel a little bit more knowledgeable about artists, and it was pretty deep, honestly. But when you look at an NFT, and the one you're going to look at here, Boogie Gopher, Boogie Gopher's our NFT, and Boogie is not only an NFT just like the others that it's got computer code on the blockchain, but it also is attached to a business that has the ability and potential to put off profits from their non-delivery channels. And that business is called Miracle Cash and More. And so what Ray said to me in less than 5 minutes, he asked me for 5 minutes. He said, Ed, can I get just 5 minutes of your time to bring you up to speed on what we're doing? I said, sure, Ray. And he said, well, Mike and I started Crypto Wealth Society. We tried some projects. Some we made money with, some we lost money with, some we hit home runs with. And he said, last year, Micah became a crypto millionaire. And he actually went to the island of Cyprus, bought a condo for Bitcoin, overlooking the Mediterranean Ocean. And he met a guy named Hakan Torhan, who is the founder of this company called Miracle Cash and More. We've partnered with him. And what it is it's brick and mortar stores, crypto on the street like an Apple store. And the light bulb went off in my head because I knew there was a need for something like this. I was anxious to hear more. And then he went on to tell me a little bit about the monetary side and the business side. And by the time we were done there, again, this is in less than 5 minutes. I didn't open my mouth. I didn't say boo. I wanted to because it sounded really interesting, but I wanted to hear him out. And I said, Ray, if what you're saying is true, I'll jump on a plane tomorrow and go to Cyprus. And 6 days later, I was in Cyprus. because I had never seen anything of this magnitude. So just to give you a little background, Anthony shared some stuff with you about myself. I'm just a regular guy. I'm a blood and guts guy. I come from the heart. It's very difficult for me to lie. When I'm kidding around, I kid around a lot. My kids just peg me. They go, "You got that smirk on your face." I'm not good playing poker. Yeah, I just tell it like it is. I don't care what people know about you. People go through life fearing what other people think. I don't give a crap what other people think. I learned that a long time ago, and so for me, when I hear about a business model like this, I understand it because I opened up enough. And by the way, I rejected Bitcoin for years because I didn't know anything. And that's what people do when they don't know enough. They just look. Here's what it comes down to. It comes down to whether or not they're in the right time in their life. Everybody's in the right place at the right time when something really spectacular gets presented to them. Whether it's the right time in their life, that's a whole nother story. And if it's not the right time in your life, what we do as human beings is we look for what's wrong instead of what's right because we want to say no. And we want to justify our no. And sometimes it's stupid. It's stupid excuses. It make no sense at all. But people will say anything to get out of something. And so, timing is everything. And no different than the timing of the advent of the crypto industry. No different than the advent of the computer, the World Wide Web, the smartphone, the electric car. We could go on and on, the airplane. We could talk about everything and anything under the sun. I used to love what Zig Ziglar said. He said they've never erected a statue of a critic. And people who think they're smart, the Joe Know-it-alls, they know everything. Oh, that ain't nothing. They want to one up you on every single thing. Oh, that ain't. We had a guy like this to fire out. It was like he would count the shrimp. Right? I made a nice matter of fact. Last night I made the shrimp dish, and he would count the shrimp and make sure that he wasn't short of good shrimp. And this guy, he would. Whenever there was somebody said anything, he goes, "Oh, that ain't nothing." And he said he had a better story to tell, right? So some people are like that. They know it all. They know everything, And so you just gotta, as you can tell, I like to have fun, right? I like things that are fun, simple, and fast. I promise you, this will get fast real quick because the information is just so great. But you're here at the right time. And with Cashflow NFT, there's a cross-company deal where Cashflow NFT signed the deal with Miracle Cash and more. It's a partnership. I mean, Hagen has an interest in Cashflow NFT. Micah has an interest in Miracle Cash and more. And Cashflow NFT receives 75% of the marketing revenue that comes from the United Kingdom, and 50% of that marketing revenue gets paid to all the memberships. There's only 1,488 memberships for the United Kingdom. That's it. And by the way, there's less than 100 left. I think they'll be gone by day's end. But if you want to buy one, you want to jump in the game, they're $5,000. So you're probably wondering, well, why would I buy it? It says $5,000. Here's why. Tonight it's going to be $10,000. Did you ever double your money in a day? And I'm not saying you're going to be able to sell it tomorrow for $10,000. All I'm saying the company's selling it for $10,000 tomorrow. $5,000 one time. There's a lot of reasons that the UK is very, very interesting to anybody who wants to get involved in what we're doing. But we're not going to go into great detail there. So let's talk about Miracle Cash and more. That's a picture of our store in Amsterdam. That's our flagship store. We have another one opening up momentarily in Berlin, Germany. We had two stores, the two original stores that opened up in Northern Cyprus. There's 3 more being completed that will have a total of 5. And then right after Berlin, Germany, we have Cologne, Germany, we have Paris, France, London, England, Madrid, Spain, Barcelona, Spain, Brussels, Belgium. We're going throughout the Netherlands, and you'll see that in a moment. And then we're also got offices down in Manila. We'll be going to the Philippines, into Southeast Asia. We'll be coming to the United States, to North America, South America. This concept will go all over the world. And if you see it like we see it, it's a what we call a fintech startup is what it is. And what Hawken decided to do was a little bit different than the traditional venture capital to raise capital. He started selling master franchise agreements for countries. And when Micah got to meet him, looked very interesting to Micah, and he ended up buying Germany. Got a small group of investors. They sell in Germany for $1 million. Bought Germany, France, bought Spain, UK, and started in Spain actually creating multiple memberships, like we're looking here today, and sold out Spain in 31 days. And now we're finalizing the UK. We're also selling membership NFTs in Benelux, which we'll look at in just a moment. Those are ridiculous in price, but they won't be tomorrow. So, so yeah, the timing on today's presentation is really key if you're ready to move. So you want to get your sprinting shoes on, do whatever you have to do. And for some people, it's just an easy transaction. For other people, they got to move funds around to get in the game. But let's talk about what that makes us stand out. What you see on the screen is a comparison of Miracle Cash and more, and 6 of the top cryptocurrency exchanges, over 500 cryptocurrency exchanges. But on the screen here, we got Binance, we got Crypto.com, we got Coinbase, and as you can see, all of them have at least 4 check marks, with the exception of one that's Binance has 5 check marks. And what the 4 check marks are for is they buy, sell, trade cryptocurrency, and they have their own cryptocurrency. They got their own coin. What Binance has in addition to the other ones, they're the only one I know of other than us that actually has their own stable coin. They also have their own stable coin. We have all that plus, 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 plus. And what really makes us stand out is the fact that we're opening up countries with stores. And when we go into a country, we are fully licensed and regulated. We meet all the laws within that country. We actually have stores where people can walk in off the streets and talk to somebody. They actually could pick up the phone, call, and talk to somebody. All of the other exchanges don't have that. They operate in the blind. And so, as you know, there have been some debacles. There have been some things that went out of bed. Started way back with Mt. Gox, most recently with FTX. You know, these are companies that operated in the gray or misappropriating funds, or were just a flat-out scam. And so we have to battle that just a little bit. But with Miracle Cash and more, when people see a storefront that is meeting the laws of the state, meeting the laws of the country, meeting the laws of the municipality, whatever it is, all the regulations that are written into it, that means we're for real. And when I came back from Cyprus, one of my friends who'd heard about it, big time networker, you know, an 8-figure earner, and he said, Ed, when you get back, give me a call. So I gave him a call. He said, so how was it? I said, Steve, the deal is real. I mean, it's real. They got real stores. They have real technology. This is like nothing. This is not network marketing. This is real. This thing is going to happen. I'm telling you. So anyway, that's what makes us stand out. Is we're unique, we're different, we're real. And so let's take a look at the 9 delivery channels that we're bringing to market. What I want you to think about is Amazon. Amazon's the everything store. Matter of fact, there's a book. Have it over there. Next time I got to explain here, I got to show you. I keep referring to it. The Everything Store is written about. It's written about Jeff Bezos and how he started Amazon, and what he wanted to do was pretty much take over all the retail on the web. And he figured, hey, let's just build something that everybody wants but nobody has. And they went out and created Amazon. It took years. They started out with just books, right? It took years before they even became profitable. Well, what Hakan wanted to do was create the Amazon of cryptocurrency, become the everything crypto. Everything and anything. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff here. Remember we talked about all those check marks? You're going to see here that nobody's even dreamt of yet, and we have it. We own the technology. These are technological breakthroughs. So we are going to talk about our stores, which access is our buy and sell. We have our ATMs. We have our Miracle Pay electronic terminals. We have our Miracle Pay online. We have our Miracle Pay, our Miracle websites and mobile apps. We have our Miracle with installments, Miracle Home, Miracle Deal, Miracle with installments for businesses. And so we're going to primarily look at the first 3. Let's talk about number 4. Had a great conversation last night with one of our top leaders in the company. And we were talking about Miracle Pay Online, that, you know, anybody who has a website that wants to accept crypto, we can set them up. And as soon as here in the States, we stick the flag in the proverbial flag in the ground, man, businesses are going to come on board left and right because they want to accept crypto. There was a great article in CNBC that I talk about where they cited a study done by Deloitte. It's a 15-page study where they surveyed decision makers of major retail companies, over 1,000 of them. And bottom line, what it came out to is 75% of them believe that they're going to be accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payment within the next 2 years. Do you know what they need? They need everything that you're looking at here. They need an online processor that actually owns their own exchange like we do. So let's go into that. We'll talk about that. The physical stores, the Miracle Exchange. People access our exchange through the stores and through their own app. They download an app, they can go on an exchange just like all the other exchanges. They can buy, sell, and trade. And in the United Kingdom, which is what we're talking about here, we're talking about the master franchise agreement from the United Kingdom that Miracle Cash and More owns, and 50% of the revenue that goes to Miracle Cash and More gets shared with all the people who buy a UK membership NFT. So when you look at that and you try to figure out the size and scope of it, what we're going to show you right now is just mathematical examples. We don't know what we're going to do. Nobody has a crystal ball. But I do want to read the disclosure real quick. It says, bottom left-hand corner, if you look at it, the information presented does not constitute investment or any other types of financial advice. This information is for educational purposes only. So whatever we're going to show you here right now, there's no guarantee, there's no promise of. We're just talking about how it works, how it might work in the market, the size of the market, and what percentage of that the company is targeting to try to capture, and then what it might look like for the people who actually buy the membership NFTs. So again, we're talking about a $5,000 NFT for today for the UK. And in the UK, in 2021, there was $170 billion worth of transactional volume. Oh, by the way, the volume just keeps growing. People just keep growing. More and more people are getting involved. Although less than 5% of the population is engaged with crypto, some of the biggest names in the world from a financial standpoint are getting involved or aligning themselves with companies like Warren Buffett. Last year put $1 billion into a bank in Brazil called Nubank. And it just so happens that Nubank is adding cryptocurrency to their product offering. When you look at Fidelity, everybody's heard of Fidelity. My wife and I have had Fidelity for decades. We have our own brokerage accounts. And at Fidelity, they've been talking about it. They started exploring it. They started doing it on an institutional level. They just opened it up as retail to the general population. What you have to do is have a Fidelity account, and you can buy crypto through Fidelity. Imagine that, right? So when you look at banking institutions, when you look at Goldman Sachs, when you look at JP Morgan, you see they have affiliations or positioning themselves. They know what's coming. The world is going to change from fiat currency to digital currency. Period. Ended. That's happening. It's not like, oh yeah, it's not like the electric car. Let's talk about the electric car. Because I bought into it when Elon had one car, it was a Roadster. And I was like, man, this is the coolest thing ever, 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. And they were talking about coming out with a four-door sedan. They were talking about going public one day and being the first automobile manufacturer in over 50 years to go public in the United States. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker. And people thought I was nuts. I started talking about the future's electric cars, and the guys at the firehouse were ribbing me. And what happened? Turn on the TV right now. Watch any sporting event right now. You can't see a set of commercials go by without seeing an electric car. I don't care if you're talking about Cadillac or Lincoln or Porsche or Audi or Mercedes. They're all advertising electric cars right now. Well, that was something. That got a lot of rejection. So did the computer. When Bill Gates said, "Hey, we're going to have a computer in every home," IBM was the leader in computer, and computers were the size of a room. They were mainframes that only corporations had. Why would an individual want one for their house? It makes sense. People rejected it, but here we are today. Everybody's got one. Same thing with smartphone. We can go on and on and on. What you're looking at is the future of cryptocurrency and how people access it. See, what we're bringing to market are the methodologies that people can actually engage in the crypto world better than anything there is out there. Our miracle AVMs. Oh, I should finish up the numbers here. So the mathematical equation we put up here for the exchange 170 billion was done in 2021. Our target is to capture at least 3.5% in our first year. That would bring in $6 billion with just a 1% transaction fee. And oh, by the way, that's where we make our money. We make our money on the transaction fees. We don't care if the coins go up and down. We don't care that Bitcoin in 2021 hit 69,000 and today it's at 22,000. We don't care. We don't care if it was up and down. It goes up. It's very volatile. That's the way the industry is. Bitcoin has already crashed, as the media would put it. They don't talk about the bull market. They don't talk about how it was a high flyer. You don't hear that terminology. Investors talk like that, not the media. The media always focuses on what's wrong, not what's right. Right. So if you look at all the downturns, 5 times Bitcoin crashed. Guess what? I believe we're in the beginning of the next bull market. That's where we are right now. A lot of us that are really into this believe wholeheartedly 1,000% that Bitcoin is going to surpass its previous high. When that happens, we're not sure. Might happen this year, might happen next year. I believe within the next, by the end of next year, definitively, it'll be there. And then where does it go from there? There's been a lot of top level investment people that believe one day a Bitcoin will be worth $1 million. Right now it's at 22,000. So you could see, there's nothing out there in the world that has that kind of return, has that type of high flyer capacity. If you kind of like just put Bitcoin up against the dollar, it didn't hit $1 until February of 2011, right? So prior to that, it was pennies. Literally, it was below pennies. It was fraction of a penny. A Satoshi is a fraction of a penny, right? So when you look at it and you go, oh my goodness, if today was February, a day in February in 2011, and you knew that Bitcoin one day is going to go up to $69,000, would you buy one? One guy spent $10 worth on a pizza back in the day, and that pizza, in today's standards, what he spent, the amount of Bitcoin he spent, $10 was $25 worth for 2 pieces, $25 worth for pizza. He used Bitcoin. Today, that would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So the people who understand crypto and know where it's going, know the volatility's there, but the person or the companies that always make the money are the banks, the casinos, the exchanges. The cryptocurrency exchanges are like banks. They're not fully regulated yet. They're in the process of getting fully regulated. Laws are being written all over the world, but it's happening as we speak. What I just mentioned before about Warren Buffett, he would not have purchased a bank that was venturing into crypto if he didn't have a firm foundation of where this industry was going. It's happening with and without us. Let's look at the miracle automatic vending machines. 1,000 vending machines in the marketplace, $500 a day, 5 transactions a day. What it would come out to per membership would be over. Again, this is just math. This is no guarantee. There's no promise here. But if these numbers actually happen, it could be over 10,000 in a year from this one product, and we believe that we're going to put out way more than that. You can see down the bottom, 2,000 is an 18-month goal, 4,000 units out there is a 24-month goal. So here's why we think we could do that. Hakan Torin, who is the chief architect of this Miracle Cash and More, he started out his entrepreneurial venture with putting out ATMs in the UK, and they put out over 55,000 ATMs, him and his team for the company he worked with. So just amazing. Then you have our electronic terminals. Everybody who buys anything with a credit card, debit card, knows that they're everywhere. This is how the majority of our purchases get done, whether you're at a restaurant, at a store, doesn't matter. People use credit and debit, and they just swipe, chip, or insert, and they're out the door. We built the technology to actually accomplish that with crypto. Up to 1,000 coins accessible with a simple little QR code. You tap your phone to the machine, transaction goes through, you bought something with crypto. We got it, guys. We have all this stuff. So with the 9 channels, delivery channels, the estimation is profit for year 1 could be, from anywhere from 20,000 to 100,000, give or take. Could be less, could be more. We don't know for sure. We're just kind of like saying, hey, we think this is where we can go. Year 2, 50,000 to 250,000. Year 3, 100,000 to 500,000. Year 4, 200,000, $1 million. Let's stop the presses right there. This is where Ray got me. He talked about this number of possibly earning over $1 million in year 4. And we said, Ed, we have an exit strategy to sell the company in or about year 4 for more than 10 times earnings. And that means everything. They buy the company, they buy the memberships that are generating revenue, everything. And you have to sell along with the company. He says, so if it sells for 10 times $1 million, what is that, 10 million? That's when I said, Ray, if what you say is true, I'll go to Cyprus. And I went to Cyprus. Now, is this guaranteed? No, I don't know. It's a calculated risk. It really is. But it keeps getting better. The reason why our terminals, I should say our NFTs, are going up in price is because there's a deal that just got done. And 2 more followed it that got signed. So the first big deal we just signed was with Vodafone in Germany. 4,000 stores, biggest provider of cell phones in Germany. They looked at what we have here. They wanted to participate. They believe that there's 3 products here that can help them increase their revenue by over 100%. They see how this can actually impact the bottom line. And so they've signed contracts with us. And based on the valuation of what that means, the valuation on these membership NFTs goes through the roof, easily more than 10 times what they're showing for. In some cases, even way more than that. I want to talk about those numbers yet because we're gonna have those valuations. There's a third party company that's doing the valuation, and in a few weeks we're gonna be able to share that with people. And then it's gonna be like, wait a second, I could buy this for this, and it's valued at that. I'm in. That's where we're going. It's pretty cool. Included in the UK is 50% profit of 2 of the stores in Northern Cyprus. And then we got Benelux. Benelux is Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. And the population there is real strong. The GDP is real strong. And 100% of the profit from the Belgium transactions go to Cashflow NFT, 50% of the Netherlands, and 100% of Luxembourg. And there's only 2,000 Beneluxes. Now, here's the sense of urgency. This promotion I'm going to tell you about ends tonight. You could actually buy one of the Benelux for it was a $5,000 value that sold at half price for $2,500. They're almost all gone. There might be like 30 or 40 left. So if you want one of these, you got to act on it. And it ends tonight, regardless. Tonight, midnight, that NFT and the UK NFT both start selling at $10,000 tonight. How would you like to quadruple your money in a day? That's what we're talking about, the possibility here. I have several people that are doing it, numerous people. I got people I'm talking to all day long. I'm going to lose my voice before the day's out because people want in, and it's a first come first serve. So if you want to get this, you want to jump on it right now because again tonight is gone. Possibly even earlier than tonight. You might not make it in before the first 500, but I would suggest go for it anyway. In addition to that incredible price, anybody who's one of the first 500 also gets a free electronic point of sale terminal, which is our Miracle Pay electronic terminals, and it gets paid out in the form of a pool. There's 500 of them, so there's 500. There's 500 membership NFTs, and there's 500 point of sale terminals, and everybody gets an equal share of the 500. This way, one person might get the best store, one person might get the worst store. A whole bunch of people that didn't get really good locations, they're going to be upset. So we just said, hey, let's throw it all into a pool. It'll all average out, and that's what's included with Benelux. And if you invite people to hear what you just listened to, and you wanted to help people out by sharing this with them, and they make a purchase, you make 10% of their purchase. Plus, if they invite somebody, you make 5% of that purchase, and there's no limitations. You get your Boogie G. You're part of the Boogie Gopher Club. Unlike the Bored Apes, which, by the way, are like one of the most famous NFTs out there, they minted 10,000. They first sold at about $100 a piece, and now last year they were selling for over $100,000 a piece. Eminem, the rapper, bought one Bored Ape for $460,000. Now we're not saying that Boogie Gopher is going to sell for that much. Everything has to be seen. We'll see where it goes. But to have it attached to revenue from a brick and mortar business where it becomes a quarterly distribution that's a passive residual income. There is nothing like this out there. We're the first of its kind. And so that's really cool. And as part of the Boogie Gopher Club, we attract people that love life, that love to travel, have fun, make money, give back, get involved with different philanthropic events. And so what we do is we do periodic events. We did the first one was in Cyprus, where we had 40 people there. The second one, October, November, we did a Halloween launch where we actually had a Halloween party. It was pretty cool at the Palazzo Hotel in Vegas. We had over 400 people there. And our next one is coming up in Miami, Florida. So you want to get the information. Anthony has already or is putting it into the chat. By the way, in the chat, I've learned a real great technique from Gail Mrs. Satoshi that if you want to copy everything that's in the chat, it's real simple. You go to chat, and when you see the little smiley face right next to it, there's 3 little dots. You click on the 3 little dots, and then you just click on copy, and you have everything that's in the chat. And that way you won't miss anything that's in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this video. It's going to, when it comes to an end, this Zoom will come to an end. We have one more Zoom tonight. It's still going to talk the same price. Come tomorrow, these slides change. But if you know anybody that you want to see this thing, talk to them about it, get them on tonight. If they have the ability to, and it's still available, we're not 100% sure, but if they want to get in, if they have the ability to pay with crypto, where we accept Ethereum, we accept Bitcoin, we accept USDT, which is Tether. They could actually do that both on either the ERC, which is the Ethereum platform, or the TRC, which is a Tron platform, and just get set up. Everybody who is already an affiliate has a website, which, by the way, the websites, to get your website is free. So you become an affiliate for free. This is not network marketing. There's no monthly volume requirements or anything like that. Matter of fact, you could sell without buying. So I suggest everybody get yourself a website.